Music education is the best.
It's mattered to me from the very beginning because it's always helped me sort out the world. If I was unhappy, I played music. If I was thinking about stuff, I played music. Does that help me think about things? And I wrote songs to sort the world out for myself. It makes me a happier person.
Music is basically everything to me. It's what I think about when I wake up. It's what I think about when I go to bed. It's what I think about when I'm not even trying to think about anything else. Yeah, it's kind of been with me, the most constant thing in my life, so it matters to me.
Music is my life. It matters so much to me. I grew up in a really musical household, and then my mother's a music teacher. She taught little kids, and she taught me, and she made sure I had a really good music education, which is why I'm here.
It's like the air that I breathe every day, like my reason to live. Since I was a little kid, I started making music my own, playing piano by ear, and really since the very beginning.
Music is a way that I can convey a message and transcend the boundaries of language. And so it's very important, and especially as a person of faith, to share my faith with people and give hope and inspire. It's the only thing that I know that is able to break barriers. And so it means a whole lot to be able to write and then people appreciate, mere fact that we have a common ground, they're able to identify with what I have to say.
It's a universal language that kind of connects all of us. Without music, who are we?
I know why music matters to me because it was my lifeline. When I struggled in my life, when people were mean to me or didn't give me space to express myself, music never judged me. It was always there. It's medicine, right? It heals me. Every time I get to sit and share and play and do any of that, it's good medicine.
It's helped me survive and get through the hardest times in my life. It continues to do so, and it has given me so much. So I owe my whole existence to music.
I've been thinking about this a lot, and during the pandemic when we were constantly reminded what's essential, and the artist was at the top of the least essential. It is absolutely essential. I think it's the profound essence of being, to connect, to create, to express. It's everything.
Music is one of the things that makes us human. Music brings people together of all backgrounds, and music is a place where you forget ideologies and you just tap into your truest nature of being a human being. And I also believe that music heals, and that's a fact. It heals the soul.
For me, music has always been very present because we are very ancient people from the Arctic, Canada, and we've always been making music. We've always been telling stories. So for me, music is just very much here all the time because I was very shy when I was a little girl and I was very sensitive. So I think music came to kind of save me, to be able to express myself a little bit. It taught me to be much stronger than I actually thought I was. So music is not just music, it's not just melody, it's really a way for me to feel good.
I think the first way that I learned to express my emotions, to express who I was a very sensitive kid, and it was really, really good for me and healthy to play the piano, to have the piano and to be able to kind of process and even learn who I was through composing and through playing the piano. So music is absolutely vital in my life.
I think it's a safe space. I think a lot of people get to hear music and take whatever they need from it. And I don't know, I think the world would be a lot better if everyone listened to music, especially mine.
Oh yeah, I was never in music, I was in art, but at lunchtime we went to the music room and hang out at the West Hill Collegiate. The fellow's name was Michael Crichton. He was a music teacher. He let me hang out in the music room. He got a little love for everything right around then. So
I remember the only instrument that I ever learned in class was the recorder, and I remember just how passionate the music teacher was. And even though we all didn't know what we were doing, it was beautiful to see the teacher having that internal joy, seeing the students learning the instrument. I'm not musically trained, but I always try to learn from people who are, And like, to me, that just fuels my art and my craft as well. Music education is very important. It's very important. Shout out to all the music teachers. Your work does not go unnoticed, trust me.
There's a high school music teacher in Fredericton, New Brunswick named Jennifer Keating, and she's a wonderful, wonderful educator. And it's not even one moment that I can sense or feel. It's a series of moments and how she made me feel about music and the fact that it was all okay to sit and express in that space. So every time I meet a music educator, I thank them. And I say, you're doing the most important work to inspire and to give people the gift of song so that we can carry it and heal ourselves.
I don't feel like I was in like a ton of music programs when I was growing up. I remember one time I was in choir and they're like, you have to pick between this and dance. I said, I'm dancing, girl, I'm bi. I wish I did join them and take them seriously younger, but I remember starting college and my professor telling me that like, what are you doing here? Like, you should be out in the field doing music. And he was very instrumental in starting the rave scene, and having that validation from him and my class, I think really helped me to be to where I am today.
One of my earliest memories of music would be sitting out in front of my parents' house on the lawn, laundry basket flipped over upside down, branch probably from the bush, and just kind of banging on it, really trying to be like the big guys around Northern Cree Drum. I love all sorts of music, but where music really hits me, where I love music, is with the traditional music. I've always been around it. It's who I am, it's what I play, it's what I believe in. It heals people. Somebody I really look up to in that realm is my father, Steve Wood. Mr. Kwaskeeknape says he's one of the co-founders and one of the today's leaders of Northern Cree. So I gotta give it to him.
I think having your parent as a music teacher is a really difficult thing. I'm a mom too, so I think it was a lot to do with my other music teachers really feeding me some sounds that I'd never heard, that I gravitated to. And they are really the pulse of what kicks us all into becoming professionals. A teacher in grade 4 who sent me home one summer with the entire recorder family. All of the recorders. And this is after I'd taken a lot of piano lessons. So once I got the recorders, I was like, this is cool. And then the next teacher gave me saxophone. So it was a really beautiful transition of me going, I can do this. I have older sisters that also play music. My sister Ingrid is one of the world's greatest trumpet players. So a lot of inspiration there.
I have a few really great music teachers growing up that inspired me and really encouraged me. I remember my teacher in elementary school, Madame Cooper, who was always playing her guitar in class, and she was someone who I looked up to and wanted to be like. I remember a teacher named Mr. Wes Enns from MBCI, my high school, who encouraged me to send a tape in to audition for a group that was playing around other schools and other churches, and I remember just being so encouraged by so many different mentors. So those are just a couple.
So I was classically trained, so I studied music for a while. I appreciate all the vocal coaches I've had, but there's one that means a lot to me, Dr. Curtis Watson. His ability to convey message from the stage and to evoke the emotion is the reason why I choose him. But Glenda Anderson, she has been good vocal coach. Hats off to him.
I have a few teachers, one of my first piano teachers, that really helped me a lot in the past. Her name, Karina Mesquida, it was the aunt of the great Cuban guitar player and composer and musical director Leo Brauer. And also I have another teacher in the National Conservatory of Music in Havana, Cuba, Oscar Laurier. The other one was the Zenaida Romeo, the sister of the great musical director Armando Romeo.
I had a great piano teacher. Her name was Kathleen Tucker. She actually lives in Nova Scotia, where we are right now, and she inspired so much into me. I had two very good teachers. One really got me into emotion and feeling of music, and the second was a Russian teacher, very technical. And both these things were really, really good for what I do now. And my God, yeah, music teachers are so important when you're a musician. So important.
We're both self-taught.
Never took music lessons, but my dad gave me my first guitar and said, "Pierre, you come from a broken home. You might need this." And he was right. That gave me the inspiration to start writing. But I think English teachers gave me the inspiration to write music and write poetry. And I wish I could actually thank her. I still miss Baker. She gave me a book called The Dharma Bums, which is a book by Jack Kerouac. And coming from a small town, Alberta, she said, "May you find your train out of here."
I grew up on a grain farm in Alberta, and when I was 4 years old, my dad showed me a Ray Charles tape, and it paralyzed me. I couldn't believe it. And then he told me, "This man is blind." And then I was really blown apart, and hit me then and there. As far as like on the road mentor, I played for a lot of years with a man named Bill Bourne, who is also an Alberta farmer, and he taught me a lot about the blues and about folk music, and he's no longer with us, but thank you, Billy. I know you're riding that big Cadillac in the sky.
Hi, I'm Begonia. Please visit musicounts.ca to learn more about how you can support music education in Canada.